During the demo video, Google demonstrated in a rather simplistic manner how Gemini could help one make decisions about which route to choose through logical reasoning. To understand how the new Gemini technology can support the growth of Google Maps, let us first cover the ways the app makes money. Google Maps is monetized in various ways, with the main source of revenue being advertising. Google's local search ads can appear when someone searches for a particular product or service in the search engine, showing where relevant businesses are located on the map, thereby enabling businesses to attract nearby customers. Businesses such as restaurants and shops can also purchase promoted pins to stand out when people are browsing on Google Maps. In fact, when someone clicks on an advertised pin, they are shown customized web pages and specific products from the business based on what Google believes the user will find most interesting as per the user's activity data from across the Google platform, in order to drive conversion rates higher for advertisers. These data sources include users' Google search histories, their YouTube watch histories, and has traditionally also included the user's location histories. However, recently it was revealed that Google Maps will no longer be collecting and storing users' location histories to uphold users' data privacy.
Is making a big change in direction with its map product, saying it will no longer keep your Google Map location history, giving you and your past more privacy when it comes to those who are trying to track you.
Advertisers are very interested in knowing where we've been.
This could indeed undermine Google's targeted advertising potential. Although keep in mind that Google will still be able to use other sources of data, like YouTube watch histories and website visits, to serve relevant ads on Google Maps. Now, aside from advertising, Google also sells Google Maps functionality to millions of businesses like Uber for integration into their own apps. And more recently, Google shared that it will be selling certain types of Google Maps data to enterprise customers.
Google is planning to license new sets of mapping data to a range of companies to use as they build products around renewable energy. And one internal document we viewed shows that it's hoping to generate up to $100 million annually in its first year. We viewed internal documents that show the company sees customer opportunities with solar installers like Sunrun and Tesla Energy.
While Google does not disclose how much revenue Google Maps generates, investment bank Morgan Stanley had estimated that the app would generate over $11 billion in 2023. Now that we have understood the different monetization strategies through Google Maps, let us revisit Google's Gemini demonstration for choosing routes.
Which way should the duck go?
Going left leads to a duck, which is a friend. Going right leads to a bear, which is a foe. It is better to make friends than foes, so the duck should go left.
Smart choice.
So how can this be monetized? While the example by Google was very simplistic, the key takeaway here is that Gemini's logical reasoning capabilities and the ability to hold up a conversation could allow for even better monetization of Google Maps. For instance, users could ask Gemini which route they should take while they are walking or driving, while showing Gemini the real-time street view using their phone camera. Thanks to Gemini's natively multimodal capabilities, Gemini could make sense of what it is seeing through the device camera in real time, retrieve relevant route information such as traffic conditions, or even the vibe of certain streets, as well as understand and respond to the user's verbal or text prompts, all at the same time. As users engage in an interactive conversation with Gemini when trying to decide which route or locations to explore, it allows Google to learn much more about people's decision-making rationale. And just like how Google had been sharing anonymized estimates of foot traffic data with businesses, the tech giant could anonymize and aggregate the data collected from Gemini interactions to potentially offer businesses deeper insights into consumer behavior patterns. In fact, Gemini could also help improve the advertising potential through Google Maps. So going back to the situation where users ask Gemini which route they should take, Gemini could offer context such as the type of commercial businesses they will encounter through each route, and in particular, highlighting businesses from advertisers. For instance, if Google knows that the user likes to try out different burgers based on their historical search activity across the Google platform, Gemini could point out to the user that there is a restaurant selling savory burgers on the way using a certain route. Gemini's human-like conversational capabilities could also be leveraged to describe relevant menu items in a promotional manner for advertisers, as well as summarize reviews to give users a quick sense of people's experiences. So while traditionally users have to click on promoted pins of businesses to learn more about the products and services they sell, the potential deployment of Gemini through Google Maps could enable users to engage in an interactive, human-like conversation to find out more about the products sold by businesses nearby, which would allow Google to learn even more about each user's tastes and preferences for better targeted advertising in the future, and allow advertisers on Google Maps to optimally benefit from the power of Gemini to reach and attract the right customers in a more versatile manner, although ultimately the success of such endeavors will depend on the extent to which Google receives permission from users for data collection and sharing, given Google's emphasis on protecting users' data privacy. Nonetheless, the potential deployment of Gemini through Google Maps should also make the app stickier for users, as Gemini becomes more and more familiar with each user's interests and travel preferences, and thereby deeply embedding the use of Google Maps into people's daily lives. This opens up the opportunity for Google to cross-sell other services to users. One of the most obvious ones would be Waymo, which is Google's venture into self-driving cars and autonomous ride-hailing services. It is currently only available in Phoenix, Arizona, but is now also expanding in San Francisco as well as other locations. Although as Waymo expands to more and more places, Google could leverage the popularity of Google Maps and convenience of Gemini to encourage users to take ride-hailing trips with Waymo from within the Google Maps app. This not only improves Google's ability to generate revenue from ride-hailing fees, but also opens the door to other revenue opportunities. Think about the infotainment systems that are built into these self-driving cars. Riders in Waymo vehicles are already able to do things like check the details of their journey and play music. And now, with the introduction of Google's new Gemini AI model, Google has the opportunity to deploy such multimodal capabilities within the infotainment systems of self-driving cars, which could open new sources of consumer data for Google. For instance, the cameras on top of Waymo vehicles are already collecting real-time data, and so passengers could ask Gemini questions about places they encounter during their journey, or even interact with Gemini to learn more about new recreational activities to explore in places nearby. The point is, the deployment of Gemini in Waymo vehicles opens new data collection opportunities that can be monetized in various ways, such as sharing aggregated data about consumer activities and preferences with businesses in those local areas, similar to how Google shares anonymized foot traffic data from Google Maps with businesses. The Gemini interactions data could also potentially be used for more targeted advertising, such as on the infotainment system screens. The point is, Google has plenty of revenue growth opportunities through the deployment of Gemini across its platform.